Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Olukayode presenting on topic assessment of prevailing poultry farming activities on groundwater quality of Ilese Community, Ogun, southwestern Nigeria, and I'm presenting on behalf of myself as the lead author, then Adesanwo OAS, Akinoye AM, from the Department of Water and Sanitation Technology, Ogun State Protecting of Health and Allied Science, Ogun, southwestern Nigeria, at 10th International Multidisciplinary Conference on Current Research Trends. These are the outline of the presentation: the background to the study, statement of the problem, aim and objective of the study, description of the study area, materials and method, result and discussion, conclusion, recommendations, and the references. Background to the study: we all know that poultry farming is a vital component of agricultural activities globally. It contributes to food security, availability of food, especially when it comes to meat, consumption of meat, and either red meat or white meat, and it aids economic development of a nation, according to Adesanwo 2018. So in region like Ilese Community, Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, poultry farming serve as a primary livelihood of many households. Many people engage in poultry farming, like rearing of birds, piggery, cassava plantations, food plantations, fish farming, that is catfish rearing, snaring, and so on. Some are birds, chicken, guinea fowl, turkey, and so on. Then groundwater contamination poses substantial risk to public health and ecosystem integrity, necessitate a thorough investigation into the sources, pathways, and extent of pollutants originating from these poultry farms, according to Olukayode 2023, Ogedengbe 2019. Also, existing literature highlights various factors contributing to groundwater pollution in poultry farming areas, including disposal of poultry waste, use of agrochemicals, and improper waste management practices, according to Nwadrari T 2018 and Akibule 2017. So furthermore, the geographical and hydrological characteristics of the Ilese community may exacerbate the vulnerability of its groundwater resources to pollution from poultry farming activity. So this study aims at checking or assessing the impacting of prevailing poultry farming activities on groundwater quality. Groundwater is water situated beneath the earth's surface in an aquifer formation, which is predominantly highly porous and permeable. And if the geological formation of the area favors percolation of this leachate generated from these contaminants, there is no how it will not affect the underground water beneath, and this will pose a risk into to the health of the consumers. So statement of the problem: like I said earlier, groundwater contamination, that is prevailing poultry farming activities in Ilese community, may contribute to groundwater contamination through discharge of waste, use of agrochemical, improper waste management practices. All these can pose threats to the underground water beneath the earth's surface. Then also pollutant source and pathways, to identify the primary source of contaminant and tracing the pathway through which pollutants infiltrate the groundwaters are critical challenge to be addressed. Also, impact of it on public health. Contaminated groundwater can pose serious health risk to the local population, including the spread of waterborne disease like typhoid, cholera, dysenteries, even hepatitis that are related to water. Many people now are running away from HIV/AIDS, not knowing that hepatitis even kill faster than HIV, and many people don't take cognizance of these things. So when you consume contaminated water, can have a drastic effect on the health of the populace. So we need to safeguard the quality of our groundwater in our environment. Aim of the study is to assess the impact of prevailing poultry farming activities on groundwater quality in Ilese Community, Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, and to propose sustainable management strategies for safeguarding groundwater resources. Objective of the study include to evaluate groundwater quality by conducting comprehensive water quality assessments to determine the spatial distribution of pollutants, to also identify sources of the contaminants, to assess contaminated pathway through which the pollutant migrates from poultry farming to groundwater resources, to evaluate the health risk associated with groundwater contamination, including the prevalence of waterborne diseases, then to examine regulatory framework effectiveness of existing regulatory measures aimed at controlling pollution from poultry farming activities and advise opportunity for improvement. So this is the map showing the study area. The study area is within Ijebu-Ode, southwestern Nigeria. The map was produced by Gbadebo et al. 2012, and we have the insert, which is the map of Nigeria. The coordinate is 6 degree 45 minutes north to 6 degree 52 minutes north, and on the longitude it is 3 degree 53 minutes east and 2 degree 59 3 degree it should be 3 degree 59 minutes east. So it's showing the map here. So we have two sessions, which is wet season and dry season. Currently in Nigeria now we are in dry season. So materials and method engaged include, we use 5 borehole samples. We pick them at random within the study area, which is Ilese, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. We pick them at random where we have poultry farms, and the samples were collected, stored and transported in sterile crystalline bottle for bacteria analysis. Then we also use organoleptic parameters such as the pH to know the level of the acidity and basicity of the water or the neutral, because in normal good day the water to be consumed supposed to be neutral, which is having pH of 7, which is neutral. So pH will help us to know, is the water acidic based on the chemical use, or is it basicity, or it is neutral for consumption. We check the temperature also, the high temperature, the low temperature, effect of the environment on the temperature of the water, then the electrical conductivity, which is predominantly affected by the total dissolved solids or total suspended solid found in the water. The higher the TDS, which is total dissolved solid, the higher the electrical conductivity. So those three were measured at the field, that is, they were measured in situ. Then we also carry out the water laboratory and the water analysis at Ogun State Polytechnic of Health, Analysed and Water Department laboratory. Then the results were matched to compare with the World Health Organization 2017 as a control measure. Then the laboratory material include the weighing balance, the spatula, filter paper, nutrient agar, distill bottle, measuring cylinder, pressure pot, cotton wool, and so on. The figure here, the figure 2, is showing the diagram of the water sample. This is why we're working in the lab. The water samples collected at various positions within the study area. So after the sample has been tested bacteriologically according to standard method of water analysis, these are the plates showing different bacteria found in the water. This is Bacillus results under microscope. Bacillus, which is a rod shape. We have the spherical coccus bacteria. We have spherical coccus bacteria here again showing. Then we have the spiral pyroshite bacteria showing here. Then this is a table of showing some of those locations 1 to 5, the bacteria detected according to each water sample, then comparing them with the World Health Organization, like location 2, where we have the spherical coccal is showing streptococcus having gram positive. Then we have location 3, spiral spirochete, and the example is Spirillum volutus showing gram positive, and so on. So this is the constitution of the electrical conductivity and total dissolved solid, which I told us, the higher the total conductivity, the total dissolved solid, the higher the electrical conductivity of the storia. So this is comparing the two results together, and we assess this and compare them with the WHO standard. So in conclusion, the record has provided valuable insights into the impact of prevailing poultry farming activities on groundwater quality in Ilese Community, Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, through comprehensive water quality assessment, identification of pollution source, and evaluation of contaminated pathway. Then the study revealed that poultry farming activity contributes to groundwater contamination, especially in the aspect of biological parameters. Most of those water within the areas are having bacteria that can affect the health of the populace, and these are due to the improper discharge of their waste, the water which is the wastewater. They were discharging them into the community, which find their way into the groundwater. Then the improper waste management. So, most of those things they use the waste, they just dispose them on the hard surface, which after decomposing is going to have a terrible effect on the groundwater beneath. So hence this research contributes to the growing body of knowledge on environmental impact of agricultural activities and provide practical insights for policymaker, farmer, local community to promote sustainable water resources management in Nigeria. In fact, from this research we discovered that there are some areas that are yet to be dominant by people. The areas are predominantly used for agricultural purpose, but the issue is that Nigerians policy changes. A time will come that most of those areas now, they will be dominated by residential homes, because presently most areas now where we have, even let me use for example now, where we have filling stations, we have cemetery, we have all those things that can affect human health, but people are now building their houses around those places. They not knowing the implications of those things on their health. They consume water, borehole drill around where there is burial practices, where they are planting their crops, applying all manner of agrochemicals, and all these things will percolate into the groundwater, contaminating the water people are drinking, and as a result it will lead to health challenges. So from this research we recommend to number one, to implement best management practices, encourage poultry farmers in Ilese to adopt and implement best management practices. Everything they should have control, a structure, a working construction. Example of those working construction is proper waste management. We should go against incessant dumping of waste anyhow. All those poultries, their waste should not just be dumped anywhere. They should not just be constituting nuisance anywhere. So proper disposal of poultry litters, adoption of biosecurity measures, and utilization of environmentally friendly farming techniques to minimize pollution risks. Also, should enhance monitoring and surveillance, establish a comprehensive monitoring and surveillance program to regulate access groundwater quality parameters near poultry farm. Also, to promote education and awareness. Government is supposed to release people out, their trained personnel, health personnel, to go into the nook and crannies of the study area, sensitizing people the health implication of improper or incessant wasting or dumping of poultry waste everywhere. This can have serious effect on the underground water below, especially when the water source is occurring at shallow depth, which is mostly common in this kind of environment. So also number 4, strengthen regulatory oversight. Strengthen regulatory framework governing poultry farming activities in Ilese community, including enforcement mechanism. It's not just for government to just constitute this body. They must enforce mechanism to enhance waste handling, to enhance location of where those poultry farms are situated. It must be certain distance far away from residential homes. They should be far away from water source. They should be far away from where people are living, or institutions like schools, hospitals, and so on. And anyone that go against such regulatory should be penalized. Poultry farmers should be penalized when they go against the constituted guideline on how to run poultry, and they are not obeying the instruction, then they should be held responsible. So also we should encourage collaboration and stakeholder engagement, foster collaboration among government agencies, non-governmental organizations, research institutions, and community group to develop and implement integrated management approach for assessing groundwater pollution from poultry farming activities. Poultry farming activities. And also, the next slide is showing, sorry, I forgot to do this. I'm sorry about that. I'm supposed to add one more slide here. One more slide here to miss the mistake, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have done this. I didn't see it sometime. I thought I've actually done that. Yeah. So, like I was saying before that, so these are the reference on selected references used for this research work. These are the references used. So I want to thank every one of you for listening. Thank you all.